What's good, boys? My name is Ferris Avenil, and I wanted to start something today that I used to do back in my second semester of college. I used to do something called a Gumption Talk every single solitary morning, and that's basically where I would literally do a talk like this, a raw talk like this, no edits, no cuts, and it's just my way of accountability. Recording myself, just thoughts going through my mind. What's the topic of mind for the morning, the night before, the week? Something that I've learned, something that I've overcome, something that I'm progressing towards. And I would record that as a form of accountability each morning, each and every solitary morning when I walk to the gym from my dorm room. And I would send it to my boys on a little Snapchat group chat, and I would just make those talks every single morning, and I feel like I would learn more about myself from them. And my idea of doing this talk right now, a raw talk, is to hopefully share some learnings. And if you don't know who the hell I am, which more than likely you don't, I want to start making value, pushing value to people that were in my position, people in my position or not, in terms of self-improvement, self-development, trying to better themselves as a young man in this world. And in my last video, I feel like it was a raw talk, but it's not structured in the way that I feel like I was painting the picture that I was trying to be better than what I was. And reality is that I'm not perfect at all, and that's not what I'm trying to paint that picture online to be, nor what I want these talks to be. I want them to be as raw as possible and be able to express what I'm going through emotionally, just learning, self-development wise, and within my business as well, which I'll get into in later talks. But I do want to explain a little bit about gumption. So obviously the definition of gumption isn't exactly how I use the context of. To me, I'll tell you a story about how I came to make gumption and then after. But gumption is basically a discipline. Gumption is the hard work that I put in day to day. Gumption is me doing something that I don't want to do. Gumption is me bettering myself. The Gumption Talk is me explaining what I'm doing, me explaining how I'm getting better and how I came with it. Me and my guy, one of my friends in college, we used to throw that word around a lot, and we thought it was a hilarious word. So that was like right when I was going into, like, when I was going away from partying, like going to the club so often and going into self-development, going self-improvement and really bettering myself. I just used that word a lot. I said, I'm going to get some gumption in today. I'm going to put that hard work in today. I'm going to be disciplined today. I'm going to start working my ass off today. And I'm going to be consistent with it. Day after day after day, I would record these Gumption Talks, so this is my phone, walking through the city of Richmond at 5 a.m. to the gym to hit my cardio, hit my lift. And I'm actually just coming back from my active recovery right now. But that's what gumption is, and I like the concept of it, and I believe that if you want to get where you want to go in life, you have to build discipline around it. That's the only way you can do something in life, is building discipline, following through with what your word is, meaning that your word is bond, that you will get it done no matter what. If I tell myself yesterday I'm waking up at 4:15 a.m., I'm going to do it, and I've done it consistently. I've been waking up consistently since the past, December. I've been taking self-development, just been grinding it out, and now more harder than ever, because I want to better myself, because I understand where I want to go in life, where I want to take my business, where I want to take just my life in general. My personal development sorry, let me rephrase that. My business will never outgrow my personal development. And that's why I got to be so hard on myself. That doesn't mean that I don't got no self-love, because at the end of the day, you have to have self-love. I am my biggest cheerleader. As cliche as that sounds, I have to be. Because I only have myself at the end of the day. I only have my mind at the end of the day, right? So, with that little brief, and again, I'm trying to be as raw as possible. So, if I start to drift off into other topics, I apologize. But it's just flowing through what's on my mind, and I'm trying to remain in a flow state to be as authentic as I can. And that's what, and I'll talk a little bit about this, is that I feel like as I'm trying to push out content, as I'm trying to push out value to younger guys like me, I feel like I can't be as authentic as I can. I mean, obviously talking to a camera, it's not the most comfortable thing in the world, you know? I'm not really talking to anyone, but I can't really think about it like that. I can't frame it like that in my mind. I can't paint that picture. So, yeah, but anyways, for today's Gumption Talk, I want to talk a little bit about consistency. Anyways, today I want to talk about consistency in today's Gumption Talk, and this is something that I'm really pushing right now, really heavy. It's because context of where I'm coming from to now is in the fall, in the summer, like leading into the fall, I was training for a half marathon, the Richmond half marathon. And I completed it in November 16th. I finished at an hour and 53 finish time and a 8:38 pace. And a runner, running isn't really like my all passion. Like, honestly, I do enjoy basketball a lot more than running. But it was the mental aspect to it. And I always pushed cardio heavy, especially throughout when I was grinding out self-improvement while I was still in college. I was doing cardio every morning, and I was lucky enough to run into one of my old buddies, and he was a good runner. He knew a lot more about the sport than I did. So we started picking up a habit of just consistently doing cardio in the morning, especially when I was back in Richmond for school in this fall. And over time that builds up, and I was like, hey man, we're doing this running. Why don't we just, he was talking about the half marathon. I was like, let's do it. Let's just do it. He signed up first, and then I was a little bit hesitant because I was like, can I really run 13.1 miles? I mean, again, I was not a runner at all. But it's the mental aspect too. I knew that I wanted to do it. I wanted to be at that finish line, and that's what I was picturing. Matter of fact, I was visualization leading up to it. Like, I visualized more of the pain that I had to go through to get to that finish line more than I did the outcome of the race. So I visualized those cramps that I'd be feeling on mile 12, mile 8, instead of me visualizing finishing through the finish line. And I visualized how I overcome that pain. And reality struck. I messed up my sodium levels before, and sodium, if your sodium levels are low, especially if you're running 13 miles, you're gonna cramp up. And I felt cramps that I have never ever felt in my life. Just stomach cramps, and like breathing in, I really couldn't. I really could not breathe in at all. Like, I'm talking mile 4, like breathing in, like even like trying to visualize that right now, or reminisce on that, it's painful. Especially the hardest part was at mile 12 of 13. I was at a good pace. I was probably running at like a 8:50 pace, and then cramps just hit me. I dropped down to like a 10-minute pace. But I was at mile 12. I was just really, like, that was difficult. That was mentally, physically pushing myself. More physically than anything. And that was the reason why I struggled so hard. That's why my pace dropped so low. But visualization, that's still overcame me through that, and what got me to that point. But again, I'm drifting off again. But back to consistency. So as I'm pushing self-development, sorry, lights cut out. But as I'm pushing self-development so hard right now, getting back in the gym. It's been a week consistently being back in the gym in the weight room since my training finished up from the half marathon. Consistency has never been more important than right now, because I'm bulking up right now. I'm at 179 about right now. I'm trying to get to 190. And nutrition, like the 4 pillars of man, and my brother John Mark, one of my coaches, one of my mentors, he talks about this in his videos as well. Mindset, habit, nutrition, training, the 4 pillars of man. And that's something he preaches, and I'll preach it as well, because that's logically how you get better as a man. The 4 pillars of man: mindset, habit, nutrition, training. So all of those have to work in congruency to get to where I want to go in life, not just physically, but also just all factors of life: spiritually, relationships, financially, right? All of those factors play in mindset. You have to have a resilient mindset. Discipline. I wake up at 4:15 every single solitary day, right? That's discipline. I'm telling myself I'm going to do it. Discipline. Consistently, day after day, even if it's a Saturday. Weekends aren't weekends to me anymore. They're just days. I'm still waking up at 4:15 on the weekends, right? Still waking up even if I'm staying up past my bedtime. And honestly, my bedtime is like, if I had to ask myself, a 16-year-old Ferris, what my bedtime at 20 years old would be like, I would not say about 9:30 p.m. on a Saturday, Friday night. You know? But it's the discipline, because I know my body needs rest, especially the way I'm pushing it right now. It's the discipline to it. I'm telling myself I'm going to do something. I'm going to get it done. I set goals for myself the night before. I get it done. I'm going to make this raw talk right now. I said I was going to do it yesterday. What am I doing right now? Discipline. I said I was going to do active recovery in the morning. It's what? 6:52 a.m. I finished my active recovery, crushed it at 5 a.m., did my 30 minutes on stairs, did my zone 2 training. By the way, if you're not on my Instagram, I post that every single solitary day, what I do in a day. Keep up with me. That's discipline, mindset. Habit stacking. Atomic Habits by James Clear is one of the best books you will ever read, and many, many successful people talk about it, right? Atomic Habits, in Atomic Habits, he talks about habit stacking, and that's building consistent habit day after day and stacking on that habit. For example, my morning routine: I wake up, drink 32 ounces of water. Your body gets dehydrated overnight. You notice you sweat sometimes, right? You get dehydrated. You want to refuel right as you wake up. And I put a little bit of Baja Gold sea salt in my water. That's good mineral salt. Sodium levels, like I was talking about with my race. Increase my sodium levels, and then a little bit of lemon juice in my drinking water. 32 ounces when I wake up. And then journal, write out my thoughts, because honestly my subconscious is just running wild at about 4:30 in the morning after I wake up. So journal out my thoughts a little bit. And then I do my 50 push-ups outside. I record that on my Instagram. You can see that day after day consistently on my Instagram. Me posting that. And then I finish up with a cold shower. 3-minute cold shower, cold therapy in the morning. Just shock the body, shock the mind. Put me in a productive flow state to attack the day. Get in my car, hit the morning cardio, record a little Gumption Talk for the IG. That's habit, right? Nutrition, that's honestly more important than training. I can train as hard as I want, and I've done it. I've been at the gym at 5 a.m. and then come right back at about 9 a.m. to hit another lift. I've overtrained before. That's not something you want to do. Nutrition is 80% of the battle. Once you lock in your nutrition, and you have to track your shit. If you're not tracking, you're lacking, right? Track my macros every day. Make sure I hit my calorie target. Make sure I hit my protein target. Day after day after day. Consistently. I'm a week in it. I'm not seeing great progress yet, but I can't think like that, because I see myself on a day-to-day basis, right? But I know consistently after time, that's when the results start coming in. So you gotta remain consistent with what you're doing. That's what people mess up with, is they don't see results after day 1, 2, 3 in the gym, day 1, 2, 3 of training, dieting. Hold up, my bad. but they're not seeing results right after they start doing something because they haven't put in the time and consistency. I'm talking weekends too. Why you want to eat more on the weekend? Why you want to go out to Zaxby's, go out to Cane's on the weekend? You got to be consistent no matter what. It's not a day of the week. It's not Friday, Saturday. It's a day, right? It's a day to get better. You got to stop thinking like that. Nutrition. That's nutrition. Consistency through my nutrition. And then training, really pushing myself in the gym, and then tweaking, manipulating my carbs to give myself that full energy, to increase my glycogen levels when I go in the gym so I get that good pump. So I get all the energy I can just really push myself and drive in the gym. Because honestly, I treat my hour in the gym with as much focus, discipline, and energy as I would with like a sales call with $100 million close, right? Because that's just important to me. But wrapping up, consistency is really where the results come in. It's the magic. It's not, people talk about it so much because it is true and people want to ignore it. That's the missing link, that if you're not seeing results, you're not consistent with what you're doing. That's today's Gumption Talk. I want to do more of this raw content. Again, like I was saying, follow my Instagram. Keep up with me day to day. I post my story, me showing my accountability, consistency, like I'm talking in this video, day after day after day. So keep with me there. I'll put the link in the description. But yeah, another Gumption Talk coming soon.